Hello and welcome into this week's NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. We're getting very close to that 250 subscriber number. We're going to do something special for that. To be completely honest with you, I don't know what it is yet, but if you have any ideas, let me know what we could do for this 250 subscriber mark, because I feel like it's a fairly big mark here. So, but again, I don't know what I want to do yet. So, if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know. But on this Xfinity Rewind, we're looking back at Saturday's 38th annual Alsco 300. 200 laps, 300 miles around the 1.5 mile Charlotte Motor Speedway, Concord, North Carolina. 10 caution flags in this race for a total of 56 laps. First one came at lap 19 for possible fluid on the track. Stage 1 concluded at lap 45. Christopher Bell won that stage from the pole. Lap 67, the 22 of Austin Cindric spun off turn 2. Stage 2 concluded at lap number 90 with Tyler Reddick taking the stage 2 victory. Lap 101, the 86 of Mason Diaz wrecked in turn 4. Lap 115, the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek got into an accident also in turn 4. Lap 142, the 18 of Jeffrey Earnhardt spun in turn 4. He would rebound very nicely from that, though. Lap 158, the 52 of David Starr and the 36 of Josh Williams got together in turn 4. And lap 171, the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek spun in turn 4. Final caution of the day, lap 182, the 36 of Josh Williams spun in turn 2. 15 lead changes in this race among 7 drivers. Tyler Reddick led the most laps, 110 of them. 33 laps went to Christopher Bell, 24 laps led by Cole Custer. 22 laps went to Brandon Jones, 6 laps led by Chase Briscoe, 4 laps went to John Hunter Nemechek, 1 lap led by Noah Gragson. All right, into your results. Christopher Bell won Stage 1. Tyler Reddick won Stage 2. Cole Custer and Brandon Jones both led a lot of laps. Would it be any of them taking home the victory from Charlotte? Yes, it would be. Your Stage 2 winner, Tyler Reddick, took the victory in this one after leading the most laps, 110 of them total, in the Tame the Beast number 2 Chevy this week. Really cool looking car. I'm really hoping Lionel makes a raced version of that because I want that paint scheme. Justin Allgaier came home with a strong second place finish. Couldn't quite do anything with Reddick there at the end. Reddick definitely, after Bell had his incident early, Reddick was definitely the car to beat in this race. Jeffrey Earnhardt, as we mentioned, had that spin early but did rebound very nicely for a third place finish in his beautiful red, white, and blue IK9 18 car. Fantastic looking car. IK9 puts together some really cool looking paint schemes. If you haven't seen Hailie Deegan's paint scheme for Pocono this weekend in the ARCA race, you need to check that out. It is a very cool looking scheme as well. IK9, like I said, putting together some awesome paint schemes. Noah Gragson came home with a strong 4th place finish, and Justin Haley rounded out the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Michael Annett, Jeb Burton in the 8 car this week. Ryan Sieg, another strong top 10 finish in 8th. Austin Cindric in 9th, and Brandon Jones rounded out the top 10. 11th through 20th, Ross Chastain put the 4 car almost in the top 10. He landed in 11th. John Hunter Nemechek in 12th. Greg Galding back here in the 14th position. Chase Briscoe 1 lap off the pace in 19th. 21st through 30th, Cole Custer back here in the 24th position, 4 laps off the pace. Not a good end of the day for him after finishing 2nd in the first stage, 7th in the second stage, and leading 24 laps. Definitely not the day he was looking for, but with a couple of wins already on the season, you know, it's not a huge deal to have finishes like that because you're already locked into the playoffs. So you can afford to have days like that if you're somebody like Cole Custer or Christopher Bell, who, if you haven't noticed, we haven't seen on these results yet either. Austin Dillon in the 10 car this week for Colleague Racing. He came home in the 28th position. Final page 31st through 38. There's Christopher Bell back here in the 31st position. He had an accident lap 90 after winning the first stage and landed in the 31st position on the day. Not a good day for him. And Landon Castle making some waves this weekend in that 89 car for Morgan Shepherd. Unfortunately, had to park it after 31 laps, but was very fast in practice and qualifying this week. Qualified in the 13th position, so Landon Castle showing he can put a car like that Morgan Shepherd Racing 89 car out front, fairly close to out front, so I think Landon Castle finally showing that he can do something even when it's not that great of equipment. So Landon Castle is somebody I think should definitely be kept an eye on. I think he's one of those guys that I think really deserves a better ride than what he has in any series. He can't seem to really land a good ride in any of the 3 series, which is very unfortunate to see. But that is your results from the Alsco 300. So let's head over to the Media Center, and we'll see what Tyler Reddick and his team had to say after this victory.
Well, I got to admit, these guys may do too good of a job of keeping the AC units in our cars running really good. I felt great all race long. Here a year ago, and some of these really hot racetracks, I was just flapping out in the middle of the race and just getting real hot. But I felt great all race long. Maybe we're pulling a little bit too much horsepower out of our engines with these AC units, but they kept me in the seat all race long. I felt really, really good. I knew it was hot out there, but I got way hotter once I got out of the car and started drinking a bunch of Twisted Teas. I got a little lightheaded, and I'm doing better now. I'm inside the AC.
Well, I think it was really important for us. We'd had some stuff that we'd been wanting to try, and we got that win at Talladega and felt a little more comfortable getting out of our box and trying to make our cars better going forward so we can, when we get into the playoffs, they're better. And we've had 2 weeks off, and we've had a lot of great ideas, and we've tried a lot of stuff. We spent some time with Tyler on the simulator trying to work out some setup ideas and things like that. So the guys at the shop, man, they built this car. It is a beautiful race car. ECR Engine's done a fabulous job. So we brought a really, really fast car and unloaded really well, and that goes to credit at RCR and ECR, all the people there that put their hands on this.
Yeah, that was a great motor. It had too much horsepower in those restarts when it was hot out there today, but, man, it would pull once I got hooked up.
You know, we're planning on running a couple of more races with him, and the last Cup race, he ended up ninth. He did a great job. He has a talent. He will be a superstar in NASCAR in the Cup division, and we want him to be at RCR doing it. But we're so proud of what he's been able to come over and do, and Randall and that whole race team has just done a wonderful job. I'm really proud of them.
All right, so let's take a look at your playoff grid heading into next week's festivities from Pocono. Christopher Bell, of course, still leads the playoff grid with 3 wins, 20 playoff points. Cole Custer, 14 playoff points and 2 wins, 13 playoff points, 2 wins for Tyler Reddick. And then, of course, Michael Annett still down here with the Daytona victory and 5 playoff points. The only real moving this week is Noah Gragson up 1 to the 9th position, Ryan Sieg down 1 to 10th. That's the only movement we have anywhere here in the top 16 this week. That gap at the cutoff line really lengthening out, though. Brandon Jones to Ross Chastain now 49 points. And we're getting to that point where what I was saying a few weeks ago I think is coming to fruition. Ross Chastain, if I'm not mistaken, has one more start in that 10 car for Colleague Racing. I'm thinking it's at Daytona, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I just feel like if he's going to get into the playoffs this season, he's got to win in that 10 car in his whatever that next start is, whether it's Daytona or wherever it is. He's got to win. Otherwise, we have our 12 guys set, unless somebody weird that we're not expecting wins a race between now and the playoffs. I think we've got our 12 playoff drivers set, because Ross Chastain is not going to be able to put that 4 car into the playoffs this year like he did last year. With how the power dynamic is set up right now in this series, we very clearly have 12 playoff drivers right now, and Ross Chastain, unfortunately, is not one of those 12 right now unless he wins a race and throws a monkey wrench into everything. So I think that's where we're sitting at right now. We've definitely got 12 very cut and dry playoff drivers this season. Now, among those 12 playoff drivers, you definitely have some drivers that I think are clearly better contenders for the championship than others, but we very clearly have a top 12 drivers in the Xfinity Series this year. But that's your playoff grid following the Alsco 300, and I believe that'll do it for us on this week's NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show. ARCA Rewind went up just a little bit ago, so go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. A very wild, crazy race they had Thursday night from Charlotte, and if you haven't seen our winner interview with Ty Majeski for that, it is linked in the description of the ARCA Rewind, so go check that out. Cup Rewind coming up either late tonight, tomorrow morning, not sure exactly which one yet, but you should see it at the very latest by tomorrow morning. And then we will be in Pocono this weekend, only on Friday for the ARCA race. Won't be there Saturday and Sunday for Xfinity and Cup, but we will be there Friday for ARCA, so be able to give you some coverage of that as we have been for most ARCA races this season. I think Talladega is the only one we weren't at so far this season. So that is definitely something to look forward to coming up here on Friday. But if you haven't done it already, you need to go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. While you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.